Yeah, look, it's been a really good transition, a really smooth transition into it. Obviously, it's been a unique sort of pre-season for all AFL clubs, and no different for Brisbane. So we didn't come back officially till after the new year. So things have ramped up pretty quickly and jumped into match practice pretty quick, and the season's almost upon us. So looking forward to getting out there and getting started with a new footy club.
Everyone's saying that you're a good fit here. Just I guess the culture of footy in Brisbane. Do you agree with that? And yeah, how is that the case? Do you think that it works for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was my goal to make sure that I was a good fit for the footy club, and the footy club was a good fit for me. And you never quite know until you actually sort of get in the four walls and start to get a part of the day-to-day program. But a lot of the stuff that this footy club's worked on over the last 4 or 5 or 6 years is holding the footy club in good shape now. And obviously I wasn't a part of that, but hopefully I can really benefit from that in the years to come.
Looks like your body's holding up pretty well. When was probably the last time you might have felt like this?
Yeah, look, I'm enjoying getting out and training with the boys, and football's a lot more enjoyable when you can get out and work hard and train hard with your teammates. So from that aspect, I'm really enjoying it, and you're right, it has been a little while since I've been able to get out and complete the work that I wanted to complete. But as I'm well aware, you can't look too far ahead in this game. You blink and a few seasons might pass you by, and so I'm just enjoying the moment for now.
Your coach said that you're one of only 2 or 3 players to get through everything this pre-season. What's allowed you to have such a successful sort of pre-season?
Yeah, I mean, as a whole squad, I think the squad's been really durable up until this point. I think Darcy Gardner's the only one that we're really likely to miss early on in the year, and even then I don't think he's too far away. So as a whole squad, things are shaping up pretty well, and from my perspective, it's been nice to be a part of a whole group. It certainly makes training a little bit easier once you've got a full squad on the track. We've been able to get good numbers out there, and that's certainly helped in a match practice sense.
You've had a couple of chances now to play these match practices. How's the combination working with you, Dan and Hibby?
Yeah, I mean, the match practices are always a unique sort of thing to try and do, training against your teammates that know what you're trying to achieve as well. So they're probably more important from a physical standpoint rather than a true flow of the game. From my point of view, I've watched a lot of vision of my teammates, trying to get up to speed with the chemistry as quick as possible, given it's been a shorter pre-season. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the opportunity to play with those those 5, 6, 7 guys that'll roll through the forward line. Spent a bit of time playing against them and admire them from the side, but to train with them, see what they can do at training and on the field has been really beneficial.
Joe, you've matched up a bit with Harris Andrews in some of those simulations. Has he reminded you about the front teeth episode?
Yeah, he does remind me every now and then, the Chief. But he's just an incredible person first and foremost, but an incredible trainer. And the Brisbane Lions are incredibly lucky to have a player come through the system like that. And sometimes it makes it even more special that he's sort of a homegrown talent, and the impact that he's having on the footy club is very big. And him, along with the other leaders, have set a really good tone for the rest of the playing group.
Have the teeth healed yet?
No, they're still a little bit crooked, so there's still a bit of work to do, but I might wait until the footy career is over before I get them all cleaned up.
Is that the mustache? Is that why that's? I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of coverage. How's it working, do you think?
You've had enough time now to sort of gel with the rest of the boys. How confident are you for this season?
Yeah, I mean, things will take time to grow, and it'll certainly take time for me to get used to playing a slightly different style and playing with new teammates. But I think that's reasonably natural. Hopefully that unfolds, and in the early part of the year we get some reasonable success. But as I touched on before, there's no point looking too far ahead. I'm really excited to play against some opposition in these practice games, however it looks, given the unique AFL circumstances. But there's some really exciting times to get out and enjoy playing, and that's what I'm looking forward to doing.
How much time do you expect to play in the ruck? In terms of your game time, how much time are you looking to play?
Yeah, I'll play as much as is required, really. We've obviously got a pretty handy ruckman in Big O, and I don't think I'll be taking any time away from him. But whatever the team requires, we've got Tommy Fullerton is a really good guy coming on in leaps and bounds. Connor Ballenden and Archie Smith. We've got a number of guys that can play in that role, and whatever Fags reckons is required, I'll put my hand up and do. But happy to play anyway.
Fags has run the two ruckmen a lot in the last couple of seasons. Would you be expecting that you would be that second guy, or are you expecting another ruckman and then you pinching him a bit?
I'm not going to really put my say on team selection. I think that that might change week to week, pending on opposition, pending on different teams, pending on form and injury of our squad. And we're just thankful that we've got a number of options that can go through there, and a lot of guys that sort of a little bit different to each other. Big O, standard ruckman, Tommy Fullerton, an incredible athlete, Archie Smith, a big bustling type ruckman. So there's a number of options there, given the opposition that we come up against.
And a lot of people are saying your arrival is the final piece of the puzzle for these guys to go all the way. The pressure of that sort of reputation, or that sort of attitude on you?
Yeah, from my point of view, my philosophy on the way that I approach the game, hasn't changed for a number of years. 5, 6, 7 years. It's about getting myself in the best physical shape to compete at the highest level. It's about enjoying every opportunity I get to perform at the highest level, and I've got a really clear plan on how I train and what I can bring to a team, and I'll continue to focus on that. And the way that the football club has been building for, as I touched on before, 4, 5, 6 years, is going to hold this place in good stead. And I'm looking forward to hopefully being a part of something special.
Are you excited? Are you seriously excited about what maybe you can achieve in the next couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the football club's in a terrific position, but I've said it a number of times that anything that you've done in the last year or two doesn't guarantee anything that's coming in the future, and we need to make sure that we continue to knuckle down and continue to play the right way. The AFL season's a long journey. We need to make sure that we're in the best shape for the entire time.
Joe, I just wanted one more on Harris. You've obviously had a disjointed couple of years, but being able to match up against him in this pre-season, how has that helped ready you for the rigours of AFL?
Yeah, look, it's incredibly important to match up against the elite AFL players, and I've been fortunate enough in my career to sort of line up against Michael Hurley, Cale Hooker, Dustin Fletcher, these sorts of guys at training, and it has an incredible impact on your development. And to come up here and play against Harris, Marcus Adams, Payne, these sorts of guys has been super for me, considering I missed a lot of footy, to get back and play against some really high quality players.
Joe, it seems to me that stories when they come out about you here pretty laid back, but in Melbourne they tend to go berserk every time there's a Joe Daniher headline. Do you feel that, and do you think, I'm glad I'm not down there anymore?
No, I don't feel a lot of it. I don't read a lot of the media. I don't read a lot of newspapers and things like that. One thing I will say is, how important the media is for our game, and the way the stories are portrayed, and the way that we can take this game to every corner of the country. I think that's really important, and it's reasonably topical now, talking about Tasmania and Northern Territory teams. In the next 10 or so years, it'd be great to see AFL teams in every corner of our country, considering it's a national game, and the media are going to be a huge driving point in that, and I'm sure the AFL will get there at some stage, but the media need to continue to play a pivotal role in that.
Are you surprised how quickly you have been embraced here? I mean, almost every interview that we had with other players, they seem to mention you in particular, and how quickly you've assimilated into this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very grateful for that. Since the day I got here, I've been incredibly welcomed. The guys have gone out of their way to make sure that I felt really settled and really welcomed, and that's something I'll forever be grateful for. And I'm sure that stems from the growth of the football club in the last 4 or 5 years. Is that these things are now automatic, and I think even our draftees, even Nakaya, has felt certainly the same way, that since the day that we've walked in the door, we've felt really welcome. So it certainly makes our job easier to be able to go and concentrate on just training and playing, really feeling comfortable in an environment.
You mentioned all the guys you've had to run with you in games, and the challenges of matching up against you because of your athleticism and your ability to kick goals going forward. You and Hippie playing together, do you think that's going to create some absolute headaches for opposition defenders, because you can both do it and you can both swap roles like that?
Yeah, I think Eric's been an incredible player since he debuted for the footy club. He's playing a real critical role for the club. since he was a young guy. And you talk about athleticism, you know, his ability to get up and down the ground, to mark, his leading patterns are really high quality. So, you know, I've enjoyed learning off Eric and Dan, enjoyed learning off Charlie and Link and these sorts of guys. And, you know, I think the more time that we spend together, obviously the easier it's going to be to play with each other. But yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity to play with those guys.
So is it right, going right back to the beginning, that your Uncle Neil had a bit of a say in I guess, introducing you to the Lions through Fags? Is that?
No, he didn't introduce me, but I was aware that he had a pretty good relationship with Fags. And, you know, the first time I spoke with Fags, that sort of made things a little bit easier, knowing that, you know, Neil and him had a pretty close relationship. So for me, that was just a little bit of a way to break down the barrier, knowing that there was a connection there. And yeah, Fags has been incredible in welcoming me to the footy club. And yeah, I'm certainly glad he'll be sticking around a little bit longer.